Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sajid, and I'm a third-generation entrepreneur, a grandson to a freedom fighter who was arrested and jailed in a jail in Roorkee. And that time, Ganges Canal was getting maintained, and he started dreaming about Atmanirbhar Bharat then. This is early 1900 I'm talking about. He started working to replicate the instruments which were being imported at that point in time from Stanley, London, and started his own factory in 1936. So it's almost 90 years now, third generation. Can I have a presentation running? Sanjay has given me a topic which was supposed to be given to a politician rather than a technocrat industrialist. I'll try to do my best. Let me see if I can get your attention to the slogan, Brave Bharat and Secure Bharat. It's trying to build a multi-domain national security ecosystem. There are few things that I can pitch in as a technocrat, but there are few things that you will have to understand as an Indian. When I was very young, when I started my business, I started with 2 couplets. They were under my table glass. The first one was from Bhagavad Gita, Karmaseva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And this is how I will say that the bravery is inherent to us. I was reading a book from Ronald Bergman. It's called To Rise and to Kill First. So this is how the peace and defense work together. Or maybe peace and defense are 2 sides of the same coin, or whichever way you want to interpret it. So if someone comes to kill you, you rise and kill him first. So the best defense is to first attack. Every ethnic group, be it Indian or Jewish or Western civilization, every community has stood the test of time, has done so because the leaders and the soldiers and common man was in love, purely in love. The inspiration to defend, secure, is for the love of our people and dedication to our country. It was the same inspiration of Mahatma Gandhi to lead the freedom movement, who said a coward is incapable of exhibiting love. Love is a prerogative of brave. Indians are known for bravery. So that's the first part of the Mahotsav, Brave Bharat. This has been proven time and again. Stories of heroism and bravery of Indian men and women, starting from Queen Umayama of Kerala or Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, from Chandragupta Maurya to Maharana Pratap. The stories are filled with valor. The Battle of Saragarhi was fought on September 12, 1897, when 21 Sikh soldiers of the British Army's 36th Sikh Regiment, if I remember it correctly, made a heroic stand at the Saragarhi communication post against the estimation of 10,000 or 20,000 Pashtun or Qazi tribal warriors. The line of Naushera, everybody knows, Brigadier Muhammad Usman, 1947-48 war, he defended Naushera. Though he was offered a chief of staff by the army, Pakistani army, but he still stayed loyal to India. Major General Ian Cardozo, it's a true grit. The guy in 1971 war, after stepping on a landmine, amputed his leg by a Gorkha knife and continued to fight, became the first disabled commander and the head of the brigade. So when I was young, I used to hear about this song, उस मुल्क की सरहद को कोई छू नहीं सकता, जिस मुल्क की सरहद की निगहबान हैं आँखें. The catch line here is whose eyes are vigilant. So how do we technically interpret this word eyes and vigilance? That is my address today. So as best echoed in our national anthem, Indian landscape embrace the towering Himalayas, the arid desert, the Indo-Gangetic plain, the ancient Deccan Plateau, its long coastlines, and far-flung tropical islands. Our 4 armed forces securing the nation's borders means maintaining vigilance across all terrain, from the humid coast to the scorching desert and the icy glaciers. The vast length and diversity of Indian borders demand the use of modern technology and to maintain a constant vigilance. For example, in Operation Singadur, we have recently seen how sophisticated technology was deployed to maintain to neutralize threats. The Indian Army used Akash Tir system, successfully detect aerial intrusions and engage army threat. Battle-proven air defense systems like Chora, OSA, AK, or LLAD, it's a lower level air level defense system. Indigenous systems such as Akash, which demonstrated a stellar performance. While having advanced technologies and detecting electronic signals and aerial intrusions, detecting small ground intrusion is and still needs a very around India, giving the title card to each poor around India, giving the title card to each poor person who was not even having a right for his land. It's a very successful project. The Mammoth project all over the use of technology for civilian use case, rather than the other side of the borders who are using it for destruction. So what do we need in visual intelligence? Rapid deployed system there. The communication systems between the sensors and the person on the ground, and of course the power and the endurance that we have in hand. I was hearing Amy Herman. She is an expert. She talks a lot about defense and you know, the way things work in the defense field in the West. So I'm struck with the idea of having 4 A's: is to acquire, to analyze, to articulate, or adapt, or to act. So these are the 4 A's that I'm putting up it back to the things that I best understand, and that is technology. How do we use the 4 A's of visual intelligence? We have to gather information about a situation or an object. We have to focus on. So whichever the platform may be, the platform can be a fixed wing or a multi, or a UAV or a buggy or an ROV, and deployed with various different sensors starting from RGB, LiDAR, thermal, multispectral, for real-time change detection. That is very important to be noted here. The ultrasonic probes, the gas detectors, and the radiation sensors. When you're using all these sensors on a very strong platform, undetected. Analyze. This is to prioritize the information collected, recognize and determining relevance to make informed decisions. Now this is for the abnormal behavior of certain individuals. So automated processing may be one of the most important AI tools. So people are talking about artificial intelligence. Usually they just go and stop at ChatGPT. So there are several tools to identify, track, and report threats calibrated to a single data source. So we need to develop tools to integrate multiple data sources, like the anomaly between the RGB and the SAR image with different time codes or timestamps. So we need edge computing. So now we now have the ability to process significant amount of data on the drone or on the ground control, on the edge of processing nodes connected to several data sources. Effectively communicate observations and analyze to others, ensuring clarity and understanding is to articulate. So this is connecting the key to use UAV. So I have a background of UAVs as well. You will see it in our booth, display the family of drones, where the communication modules to be used are command and control, telemetry, and anyone using BVLOS beyond the line of visual sight or beyond visual line of sight today will know its great potential technology required to make it completely safe to operate. So this is the failback communication systems are essentially to keep things running when the primary system fails. Adapt, or I would say to act. So it's to adapt the behavior using on insight gained, foster continuous improvements in observation and communication skills. So this is to enhance the situational awareness, or remote access to an inaccessible areas, communicate effectively, and visually see, even in the nighttime. We were working on a system which we were forced to because of the GNSS denied space. Does it work? We wanted to make a system which can be deployed with the press of button. This came because I am coming from the state of Uttarakhand, and there are a lot of accidents happen, and people fall down into the gorge or valleys, and then you are unable to track where the body is lying or an injured person is lying. The police force is struggling to show an encounter. Sorry to say that. So running around the criminal and to track the criminal running in the field, grasslands or whatever. How do they track? If the firefighter goes to a situation where the fire is there, so how do they track that? If you go as a sentry or an armed force soldier in the forward line and there's a sniper sitting on the other side, you take your head out and he will shoot you dead. How do you track that? If you are in a situation where there is a disaster and you want to see, like we have seen recently in the hills of Uttarakhand, where are the people trapped or the bodies are lying, how do you see that? So we came up with a novel idea of an artificial intelligent drone system, which I say can be used by my grandmother. It's press of one single button and it takes off. You just scan the QR on the drone, so your telephone gets connected to it. Every soldier, every policeman, every illiterate man, every person that need not to be a pilot can use it. You just have to shoot a button and it goes up. It communicates to the command center, so the command center see it on his television set, can give the commands from there, or it can be seen on a telephone without any ground control, without any training, without any type certification from DGCA, nothing, and cheap. So this we have now successfully demonstrated. So I'll show you in my next presentation, maybe tomorrow, how this technology has developed and how it has been successfully adapted to Indian conditions in rain, storm, snow, and everything. So the main focus was the speed of response, and the operational flexibility, the force projection, enhance survivability, interpretability, and sustainability. And of course, the dual use advantage in disaster and relief. The second thing that we have seen very recently in Operation Sindoor is the EW resilience, where the GNSS can be spooked, the radio can be jammed, your system can be sitting ducks. You cannot fly in that kind of situation. So how do we respond back with technologies in situation like this? And AI-assisted threat libraries, real-time recognition or adverse jamming emission. Redundant communication paths, so we have multiple packets, so they are working in 2 different channels, and you can swap over. The drone swarms, so you can take a lot of drones in a single swarm. You can have hundreds of them working with different areas, looking for different threats, and still connected to your command center or connected to the GCS, the ground control. So now, radios that sense the EM environment in real time and automatically switch frequencies, waveforms, power levels that can avoid jamming, possible. Using AI ML, so we started using machine learning in 2008 for various defects on the payments, because I'm originally a surveyor, so we come from that background of payment conditions, crack monitoring and all. We are using the same kind of machine learning algorithm and architecture that we design and develop in Bangalore for the drones as well, to train them for weapons, for BMPs, AMPs, for snipers, for anything. And they automatically create an artificial intelligence scenario on board. You have a spread spectrum and frequency eligibility techniques like frequency hopping, like FHSSS, or direct sequence spread spectrum, the DSSS. Make signals harder to detect or jam. We have seen that, and even to intercept. Low probability of intercept dissection, LPI or LPD waveforms. Stealth communication using noise-like signals or highly directional beams, using sensors based on LiDAR rather than radar, or using active sensors. We have the adaptive beam forming and smart antennas, which can be actually used for dynamic spectrum allocation to avoid congestion or contested bands at the same time. This is how we work on the navigation reply to the GNSS denied space. So somebody was asking me, how does the IRNSS or NAVIC working? And I told him that doesn't work well because we don't get a good connect, we don't get a good accuracy on the ground. You know, we have to use it, or we don't have to use it and we go to something else. So, and what is that something else? So we go to INS, IMU, inertial measurement systems, or inertial navigation systems, which currently are ranked very high. It comes from the West. Nobody makes it that smart anymore or that cheaper. So Sanjay is telling me to wrap up quickly. Okay, so I'll just quickly communicate the communication systems that comes and is a very important part of it, that how the mesh networking or satellite links and other things works. I'll be available for the next 2 days, so we can have a discussion if anybody is interested on that. Now comes the final thing, endurance and enhancement. We started with lithium-ion batteries, jumped over to LiPo, and now working on the hydrogen fuel cell, so which is, of course, an emerging technology right now. And that's the end of the presentation. So with how secure is Bharat? So that is the question I leave to the audience. With India's large technical pool, with leadership that has the will, we have recently seen a number of times, do we need industrialists having a flair to go an extra mile for the benefit of the nation or for their own pockets? This needs a lot of soul searching today. Do we have that love in our heart, as without which we can neither be brave or secure? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.